Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
What's up, YouTube? My name is Vic, and I am the Brooklyn Watch Guy. If this is your first time on the channel, this channel is all about watch buying, collecting, unboxings, and reviews in the affordable range, which I define as $1,000 or less. If you're into that, I invite you to stick around, watch the video. If you make it to the end, hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so you know every time I put a new video up. Folks, today we're going to be doing part 2 of my State of the Collection video. Got 2 cases here. Nothing that I showed in the previous video and nothing that was in the video of me collecting again is going to be shown here. These are going to be all my new pickups of watches that I never owned before I started collecting again. All right, folks, so this is my first watch box. I bought this on Amazon, by the way. Pretty nice leather watch box. Has a pull-out drawer on the bottom. That's where I keep my bracelets and stuff. You know, as men, we don't get to accessorize a whole lot. So I feel like anytime I have a chance to do so, I do it. So, you know, I don't like to be overly flashy. So, you know, I'll show you guys. You know, and this is pretty much it for me. And, you know, so that's why I like this watch. But it was a fairly inexpensive watch box, and you know, it's been pretty good for me. This is the one that I call this my go-to watch box. These are the watches that I wear the most out of all of them. So let me start. So you guys saw the steel dive, so we're not going to talk about that. But yeah, my Citizen Suno. Yeah, I love this watch. I did put it on this rally strap. This rally strap is kind of short though. I think I'm done buying straps on Amazon. Gonna start buying my straps on Strapsco. Sorry, just a little better quality. You know, I've noticed the last few watch straps that I bought on Amazon, they've been short. I don't know who the hell they're making them for, but that was never a problem before. And lately, I don't know. It's just it seems to be a lot more bad, low quality stuff being sold on Amazon these days. So yeah, I think going forward, I'll be buying my straps on Strapsco. Got my Triwa here. Cool watch. I don't wear it that much. I have to review it. God damn, get out. I do have to review it. Yeah, I will be catching up on a lot of videos that I've been meaning to make that I just haven't made. But no, I really am enjoying this watch. It's cool. You know, for something that's made of plastic, this feels pretty solid. I don't feel like I'm going to break it. Doesn't feel like a toy. It's been cool. I've been enjoying it. This is the SQ32 from Knot. Knot is a Japanese brand. I kind of went on this square, like, tank watch buying binge. And I've had my eye on this one. This was not even $100. This is an eBay purchase. It was a pre-owned watch. And the strap it came on is actually really nice. It's got an ostrich leather pattern to it. I don't know if it's genuine leather or what it is. It doesn't really say. But it is pretty soft and it does feel nice. But this is a cool watch. It's just a little dressy. And I haven't really had a situation where I could wear it. It is a quartz movement. And if you look up Knot has pretty cool stuff. They are, like I said, they are a micro brand from Japan. And I've been really into Japanese watches as of late. I went back to Japan last year for the first time in a very long time. And I just fell in love with it, you know, everything out there. But especially when it came to watches. There's a lot of cool, like, micro brand watch companies coming out of Japan lately. Yeah, I'm really, really liking what's been coming out of there. And, you know, Seiko was always my favorite brand, and now Citizen is starting to take over that. But yeah, the SQ32 from Knot is pretty small too. It, you know, wears light. And get into the next one, the Vario Versa. Another watch that I really, really like. I just don't have, you know, situations where I can wear it that much. This one wears small. You know, when I bought this, I thought it would scratch my itch for the Cartier tank. Not for the Cartier tank. Well, for the Cartier tank, but also for the JLC Reverso. Um, while it is a good watch, it doesn't really scratch my itch for those. You know, we can lie to ourselves sometimes and say, well, I have this and it's just as good or almost the same. That doesn't always work. You can only lie to yourself so many times for so long before your heart really decides, nah, this isn't what I really want. And not to say that I hate this watch. I actually do really, really like this watch, and this will always stay in my collection. I have no plans to ever let go of this. But telling myself that it would scratch those two itches, yeah, that just didn't work for me. That was a that was a mistake. But still a good watch on his own. You know, review on this guy coming also. Just don't, you know, like I said, guys, I haven't had the time. Life been lifing and work been working, and I just haven't had time to make content. So I'm trying to catch up here. Let me keep going. Let me not ramble too far. A Citizen Pro Master Skyhawk, the Blue Angels edition. This is a watch I've always had my eye on. Little backstory on why I went with this edition. When I was in the Navy, I did my A school in Pensacola, Florida. Now, A school for you Army people would be AIT. Pensacola, Florida is where the Navy's Flight Demonstration Squadron, which is the official name of the Blue Angels, that's their home base. And I was training. I went to my A school around around September. So that it was their off season basically. So that's the time when the Blue Angels are home, but they're always training. And I remember we would be doing our runs or out, you know, PTing in the field, and they would be flying overhead. And it was, you know, 18 years old. That's a freaking awesome thing to see. And I was always fascinated with the Blue Angels from that moment. You know, from the first time I saw them flying overhead. So I've always wanted a watch, you know, that commemorated them. And Citizen has, you know, they've been doing these Blue Angels editions for a while now. So in this one, I had the opportunity to pick this guy up. I went and pulled the trigger, no hesitation. And it is a good watch, and I really do enjoy it. It's a perpetual calendar. Yeah, it's an Eco Drive perpetual calendar, so I never have to worry about it. Radio controlled. My one complaint with this, that the dial can be a little hard to read, and also learning how to operate it does take some getting used to because it's not that straightforward. But once you figure it out, it is a great watch to wear. It doesn't wear too big, even though it is a big watch. It is pretty comfortable on the wrist. Moving on. I did get a Seiko Quartz tank. I've always wanted one of these guys, never had one. And I didn't have any Seikos in my collection. And that was really bugging me because Seiko is one of my favorite watch brands. And I've always had my eye on this guy. I don't remember if I picked this up on Amazon or eBay. I don't remember which one it was. Came with a really crappy strap. So I replaced it with this really soft leather one. It's really nice. I don't get to wear it that much, but I mean, a watch like this, you know, you wear it at certain occasions. But you know, it same thing. I told myself that this would scratch that itch for the Cartier tank. It really doesn't. While it is a watch that I like, it just doesn't quite fill that void. So, will I get a Cartier tank? I think I will at some point. Not yet, you know, but at some point I will. Militato. This is a brand from AliExpress. Even though I did not get this guy on AliExpress, I got this. Militato actually has their own website, which is I was unaware of. So when this guy released a few months ago, I bought it directly from their website because it was discounted heavily when upon release. I don't remember the full name of it. I do have to make a review on this guy. It looks like it's made of titanium, but it's not. This is just brushed stainless steel. This is really light. Obviously, this is a homage to a Zen watch. Plenty of micro adjustments there on the bracelet. It's actually really comfortable to wear all around. This is a Mecha Quartz movement. And yeah, it's been pretty accurate. I have no complaints about this guy. It's a watch that I do like. I don't wear it that much because what I find is like this this brushed stainless steel tends to scratch up and not look so nice after a while. So I don't know, I kind of baby it because I don't want it to I don't want it to look shitty, which is crazy, but yeah, I do need to wear this guy more often though. Wasn't expensive, maybe 120 bucks US. TSO PRX Digital. This is one of my favorite watches that I bought last year. It's one of my most worn watches last year. First of all, I've always liked gold tone watches. Bracelet is very comfortable, even though I'm not a fan of these kind of bracelets because adjusting could be a real bitch, you know, trying to get that perfect fit. So it is a little loose on me, but it's the closest I can get it, you know, to fit me perfectly without making it too tight. I went with the big version of it, not the small, which I think is a 38. This is the 42, I believe. And believe it or not, it looks okay on my wrist. I just felt like the smaller one would look out of place on me, and I'm glad I went with the bigger one. I got this guy at a heavily discounted price. It was a floor display, so it didn't come with a box or anything. Had a little scratch somewhere on the side of the case, you know, and the seller is actually really barely noticeable. I thought it was in really great shape for me, but I'm also not very picky. You know, as long as it's not something obvious that's just, you know, just hard to look at, I generally don't care. But yeah, one of my absolute favorite and most worn watches, 2025. This guy's gonna always be in my collection. I don't see myself getting rid of this guy. And I kind of went on a Tissot kick last year because I did get a Tissot, a regular PRX. I did go with the quartz. Uh, I wanted a Powermatic 80 because I do like the waffling that's in that dial, and they have some colors for the Powermatics that they don't have for the quartz. I just don't, you know, when you have a certain amount of watches and you know you have to rotate them, I just want something I can pick up and put on and not worry about setting. So that's ultimately why I went to quartz. I didn't went with the rubber bracelet, not steel. And this is actually really comfortable rubber strap. This is another watch that I like. I don't wear it too much, but it's not because I don't like it. It's just that you know, I don't go out that much. I work most of the time. And this is a watch that I'm just afraid, you know, because of the environment I work in, I don't want it to get trashed. So I'll wear it, you know, here and there. You know, it's not a bad watch. It's a watch that I do enjoy. And I think this year I will pick up a Powermatic 80 because they just have some colors that I really like. And, you know, it sucks that they don't come on the quartz, but also it's the texture that's on the Powermatic 80 dials. I do like it. And I am going to pick one up at some point this year. So this is what I would call my go-to case. These are the watches that I wear the most. And now we're going to get to my other watch case. So this is actually a travel watch case that I picked up on Amazon. I don't even remember how much it cost. They're fairly inexpensive, to be honest with you. I bought two of them. I do highly recommend these. They keep your watches nice and secure. They got these nice inserts. And they're inexpensive. I actually have two of them. The other one's empty. I just bought it preemptively because you can't just have one watch case, right? There's always you like, oh, I filled this one up, so I got to work on another one. But let me not ramble too much. As I said, I did go on a Tissot buying kick. So I did pick up this Tissot chronograph, C-Star chronograph. This watch is a little big. It's a beautiful watch. I bought it because of the red dial. Red is my favorite color. But it is a little big. And it's not uncomfortable to wear, but it's very noticeable when I do wear it. And I think that's why I don't wear it too much. I don't know how long this is going to stay in my collection, to be honest with you. And it's because of the sizing that I don't wear it that much. But we'll see, because I do like it. It is a really good, solid timepiece. The quality is awesome. The strap is awesome. You know, it's comfortable to wear. It's just huge. So that's why I don't wear it too much. One of my few AliExpress pickups of last year. This is the Rodaland. I forgot the name of it, But this is a manual wind Flieger, and the selling point for me was that second dial. That's actually a running seconds hand. Well, let me give it a few turns here. All right, see, I don't know if you guys can see, but you see, that is so freaking cool. Now you can see the red dot on that second hand. That's the 12 o'clock. I've never seen anything like that. So when I saw this, I didn't care that it was from AliExpress. I had to pick this up. But that is freaking awesome. I bought the no logo version that you can buy it with the logo on the dial or without. I didn't like the logo. I thought it made the watch look a little ugly. So that's why I went with the sterile dial. But I mean, the selling point for me is that seconds hand. I mean, that's freaking cool. Look at that. That's freaking cool. So the Rodaland. This guy's gonna get a review actually soon. Then I went with the Tendorio. This was my substitute for getting the Blancpain Swan. So this is actually a pretty solid watch. I'm not gonna lie. The strap I do need to change. It's really stiff. You know, a lot of AliExpress watches, you get them and the nylon bands are pretty thin, pretty trashy. This one's the complete opposite. It's actually really thick, really solid, really hard. Kind of hard to even adjust it when it's on. So that will be getting replaced. I'm probably gonna just put it on a NATO. But I have no complaints about this guy. So got some watches that I already talked about before. I did buy an Invicta Pro Diver. I don't know why. I just felt compelled to get this. I like this Yachtmaster look, but then when I got it, you know, it's just a cheap bezel insert. Then I put this silicone strap on it from Amazon. Same thing. It's just really short. I don't know what is up with these Amazon straps lately, but they've been like really short. I don't know who the hell they're making these things for. I'm not thrilled with this guy. I honestly wore it like twice all last year after I got it. This is probably a candidate to be sold this year at some point, and I know I'm not gonna get anything for it, but I'll probably sell it for like 30 bucks. I think I paid 50 for it, so yeah, that's fine. Yeah, this guy, when I do State of the Collection next year, probably not gonna be around. I talked about all those. Bentley Design. This is also one of my most worn watches, 2025. This is a freaking cool watch. Only problem with it that I've had so far, I don't know if you can see there on the edge of it, it got a little bit of nick. So it is stainless steel construction, but it's probably not the most solid stainless steel. It does come with two bracelets. This is the rubber one, but it's magnetic. Really solid. I felt it looked better with a metal bracelet that it comes with, but the system that they use for connecting the bracelets is pretty cumbersome. And then the way the adjustment for the metal one is so stupid that you almost can't put it on. And I'm gonna give this guy a full review, and when I do it, I'll get more into it and you'll see what I mean. Excuse me. Yeah, horrible design choice with the metal bracelet on this guy for adjusting. Is almost unusable. I got it once, but you know, if you need to readjust it and stuff, it's a pain in the ass. But otherwise, you know what? This has been a solid piece. This is actually, it's a real attention grabber too. Every time I wear it, you know, people stop me and ask me, hey, what kind of watch is that? And this was my last new pickup. Actually, no, I have more watches to discuss. So here we got the Militato. I forgot the name of it. This is a field watch. This is another one that I need to do a review on. I wanted a Timex, Expedition, the field watch. But this guy, I get a stainless steel case. I get the Mecha Quartz movement, which is really accurate. And this was less than $50, guys. You know, those Timex watches, they're up there about $40, $50, $60. And I felt like this is more watch than what you get with the Timex. You know, with those Timex Expedition fields, you're getting a brass plated case, you know, really soft, that's gonna wear out over time and start to look ugly. So that's why I went with this guy instead. And you know what? This is actually really, really solid watch. I did put my Sunto compass on it. Comfortable watch, very light actually, very light. And you know, actually the NATO on this guy is actually pretty decent, unlike some of the other ones. You can find this on AliExpress, but I actually found it a bit cheaper on Amazon. Said this guy's also got a review coming down the line. I got a lot of reviews to catch up on, folks. And that's going to be it for new watches in this case. So we're going to get into ones that don't have a case. So here we have the Tissot Sea Star Mother of Pearl. This is a really beautiful watch. However, when I bought this, it's listed as a unisex watch, but this is not a unisex watch. I put this on, and I don't have the biggest wrist in the world, but this is, even for me, this is too small. This isn't the strap that it comes with. I bought this after the fact. It comes in a really nice, comfortable white silicone strap. Excuse me. But like I said, why I don't believe this is a unisex watch, that strap is really, really short. I couldn't even get it to secure on my wrist. So that's why I bought this Milanese. This is a magnetic closer, so it's easy to put on, take off. Beautiful watch. Otherwise, I just can't wear it. So this one, Mrs. Watch Guy claimed it. I'll probably give it a review just cause. But yeah, I can't wear this watch. And it sucks. But there is a bigger one. I got this because of the mother of pearl and the, you know, the little, I'm guessing they're fake diamond inserts, but maybe not, because this isn't a cheap watch. This is over $300 watch. So the mother of pearl insert is real because it did come with paperwork, you know, certifying it. So it is real. It sucks. I wish it was bigger, but you know, that's on me because I saw the size. I believe it's a 36 millimeter, but because I had the Citizen Suno, which is not that much bigger, is actually small too. I thought I could get away with wearing this guy, but I just couldn't. It looks out of place even on me. So I am going to pick up another Sea Star. Like I said, I went on this Tissot buying craze, and I ultimately just really, really like the brand now. So they do sell one that's bigger, and I do intend to pick that up at some point this year. Not a priority, but it will be joining my collection this year. So here we have the Timex Weekender Ocean Plastic Snoopy edition. Cool watch. I bought this to compare with the Triwa. I didn't even know Timex made recycled ocean plastic watches. So when I found out they did, I picked this one up, and my ultimate goal, not ultimate, but my goal is to make a comparison video between the two. Cool watch. I don't wear it a lot, mainly because unlike the Triwa, this feels like a toy. The Triwa feels like a watch. This guy, you know, it's cool. It's nice to look at. It's really soft, really plasticky. And I know, look, it's an ocean plastic watch, right? So why am I surprised? Well, after putting on the Triwa and then putting this one on, it's very noticeable, the difference. This just doesn't feel like a watch to me. It feels like a toy. Not to say it's trash. It's not a bad piece at all. But it's just not something that I can wear every day comfortably and feel that it'll be secure on my wrist. I feel like, you know, one good bang into something and the watch is toast. And that sucks because it's cool. It comes in several colors. I just like this blue one, and it has Snoopy on the dial. So Mrs. Watch Guy hasn't claimed this yet. I don't know if she will, but she has a thing for characters and stuff. So I don't know how much longer this one will remain mine, but time will tell. Let me move along. So I did get an Omega Swatch finally this year. This is the one I've always wanted. This is the only one that really calls to me, honestly. What can I say? I don't hate this watch, but I don't love it either. I knew what I was getting when I got it. Thankfully, I didn't pay beyond retail. I actually paid less than retail because I got this pre-owned. But it was in really, really good condition. First thing I did, I wore it the first time. I had to change the strap. The straps that come with these guys, they suck. They're fucking horrible. So I put on this French paramilitary strap, pretty comfortable. But I don't. I probably should have went with a white one. And initially, I was gonna go with a white one, but I didn't want it, like white on my wrist. It's a watch. I was afraid of it looking really bad and ugly and dirty. That's why I went with the black. But seeing it on the black one, I don't really like the look too much. So probably going to change the strap out. Overall, this isn't a terrible. You can certainly do worse with your money, but having this one, I think that scratches enough of an itch for me. I don't see myself ever buying another Omega Swatch, just cause. I actually, when I wore it the first time, because I wore it with its own strap that it comes with, I didn't get red ink on my wrist. I do remember hearing people when these first came out that they would bleed dye onto your skin. I didn't have that. I didn't experience that. So I don't know if they corrected that or whatnot. But I mean, the watch itself, it just doesn't feel solid. It just doesn't. It just feels like, the wrong move, you hit it on the wrong thing, and the watch is toast. Plus, it's also, this is it's a plastic lens, plastic crystal. But sucks. It's a cool concept, and I understand why Swatch Group did it because they sold millions of these, so they, it made them money for sure. But I mean, for me, yeah, I'm fine. After having this one, I'm fine. I don't intend to let it go, but it's also a watch that I'm not in love with. So who knows? Who knows if this will make it to the end of the year? We'll see. And this is the last watch, my last pickup. Well, not my last pickup, but the last one I'm going to talk about for 2025. Probably my most worn watch. It's between this one, my PRX Digital. I think those are my two most worn watches, and my Orca. The Citizen Ecozilla. I absolutely love this freaking watch. Now, it is heavy. It is heavy. This is a really heavy watch. It's comfortable to wear, but after a while, long days, you definitely gonna know you've been wearing this watch. You're gonna feel tired. Yeah, really, really heavy. But man, this watch is so freaking solid. The quality on this guy, just amazing. Citizen really won me over last year, 2025. And probably going to see some more Citizens come along this year. This is just, I've always had my eye on this guy, but I had a Tuna before. And I was like, I got a Tuna, I'm good. I'm glad I was able to find this guy. Yeah, this is just an awesome watch. Solar powered, eco drive, so really any source of light, but for the most efficient and best charging, you want to use sunlight. I wear this at work a lot, and I've banged it. Not even a scratch. And this is steel. This is stainless steel construction. I believe there's a titanium version. Not cheap, I paid a little bit of money for this, but I'm glad I did. This is just one of my favorite watches, probably of all time, not gonna lie. Glad I have it. Will always be in my collection. Maybe even add another color or so. So this is, let me give you my final thoughts. All right, folks, so that's my 2025 state of the collection. Sorry the video's coming out late. I am going to do a better job in 2026 with releasing content. I just got to learn to balance work and life a little bit better. Starting to get the hang of that. So, folks, sticking around, thank you very much for sticking with me this year. Subscriber count keeps climbing. I don't know how, because my content, release window is so inconsistent. But for those of you that stuck with me, really, I thank you. I appreciate you. And, I got some watch goals for this year, for 2026. I do want to add a luxury watch this year. It's down to 3 brands. And that'll be probably towards the end of the summer. We'll see what happens. I got a trip to Japan coming up later this year. I do want to visit the Cool store and, take you guys along with me on that journey. And also just go watch shopping in Japan in general, because I didn't go watch shopping when I went there last year, but I went like thrift shopping and stuff. thrift shopping in Japan in general is awesome. People take such good care of their stuff that in a lot of instances, it's like you're buying something brand new. Excuse me. But yeah, that's something else that I plan to do this year is Japan, go a little watch shopping in Japan, and the cool store. I do want to pick up the Casio automatic, the carbon one, which was a JDM model, and I just don't want to import it because the price is inflated. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to Japan later this year. I'll just wait till I go to Japan. I'm sure I'll find that all over the place over there, and it's probably not going to cost me what it would cost me to bring it here. So I want to get this channel to 1,000 subs. I'm not, I'm not far. I'm not that close, but I'm not far. Like I'm just over 600 subs. So that's a goal from my channel this year. I want to get, I want to get to that 1,000 number. I've been doing this for a while, and I know I stopped and I keep going, and I stop and I keep going. I know my content's not the greatest, guys. I'm not a professional at this. I'm just an average dude that does this as a side hobby. I really enjoy this. I enjoy filming. I enjoy talking about watches. So that's a goal for the channel this year is get to 1,000 subs. Hopefully I can get that. And guys, I don't want to keep rambling, but look for more content coming down the line. I'm going to conclude this one here. I will see you on my next one. Peace.
Hey, YouTube, it's Vic, the Brooklyn Watch Guy. Got any questions or suggestions for content? Well, scan this QR code, send me an email. Maybe you see your idea come up, or I'll answer your question on a video. Thank you for watching.